Guys, welcome back to my video. This is my second attempt at filming the intro, so when I dive into this actual video, I'm going to be wearing different clothes, so bear with that. I'm currently filming a grocery haul, an Australian grocery haul, to show you guys what we get in a week, and some of the food that I am sharing with you guys are staples, so they will last weeks and months. It's just, you know, some weeks you got to spend more because you've got to get all the essentials in the house, and that happened to be this time. I'll be also sharing with you guys some healthy dinners that I make at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. I also want to let you guys know that our family is not a family of 4 at the moment, it's a family of 5 because my dad is currently living with us while his new place is being built. So this food haul is for 3 adults and 2 kids. I also have a gluten intolerance as well as somewhat of a dairy intolerance. I do cheat here and there with the dairy. So some of the food here is pre-made, which is, I know, not the healthiest, but it is gluten-free, which means it costs more, especially in Australia. It just costs a fortune to buy gluten-free alternatives. So when you're looking at what we've spent this week, keep that in mind. Also, I've purchased some items for my dad for his new house, and so I will tell you guys the total cost of this grocery bill on the screen, but I will also show you what it would have cost without buying those silly little things I've bought my dad that aren't really included in a normal grocery haul. We live in a very, very old heritage listed cottage, and we do not have water that's drinkable in the house, not because it's a cottage, but because we live on a farm and that's what it's like in Australia. Some people drink the rainwater, some can't. We also have bore water. So our main water supply in the house does our shower, toilet, and washing our hands, and then we have to buy water. My kids have just run through, so if you can hear them, that's why. And also in the future part of the video, you can hear my kitten going off. She is completely fine, she's not distressed, she's just a kitten in the background. Because of our water situation, we do have to buy water each week. We do recycle. I know there's going to be people that are going to say that. I also want to say that this week I did buy high protein foods which are in packaging because I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, meaning I need to eat a high protein diet due to my cortisol level and my insulin resistance and stuff. So it's a busy period for us at the moment, so we're buying a lot of, you know, packaged meat and things. Normally I would chuck a chook or a chicken in the air fryer, but that's what this week is. This is just a raw haul and I'm just showing you guys, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I also am a stay-at-home mum, so we do buy more than most because we don't buy food out. We take our lunches with us, or and we don't really buy takeaway. So let's dive into it. Okay, so this first pile here is from Spud Shed. I will tell you the total price at the end. Parmesan cheese, remember I'm gluten-free, dairy-free and all that, so some of this isn't mine. Parmesan cheese, tasty snacks, so like the Twiggy sticks, we call them in Australia, Twiggy sticks. Biscuits, bread, gluten-free bread, some barbecue rub stuff, roll-ups, some muesli bars, organic almond milk. See, like what I said is we try to go organic here and there, but it's just not feasible. Normal food's not feasible at the moment. It's so expensive. Tilly likes these for lunch with some Vegemite on. Kitten biscuits, we were buying her grain-free, but she actually prefers these ones. The kids love Yogo. They get one every Friday. Italian dressing, because I'm trying out, and I'll show you guys later, a little hack, I guess. It was like marinating chicken in that. I don't know if it's going to taste any good, but we'll see. Some bay leaves, some more barbecue meat rub. Like I said, we're just starting out in Australia again, so some of these are not things you buy every week. They're just staples. Some more Himalayan salt, some red Thai curry paste. Strawberries are cheap at the moment, they're $2 each. A few bananas, avocados, we love our avocados, cucumbers, and a sweet potato. That's everything from Spudshed, and that came to a total of $115. And I also bought a almond milk iced coffee that I drank, so that's including that. So that was $115.65. Okay, if you can hear the kitten and a blowfly in the house, you can Google what a blowfly is. They're disgusting. That's because I left the door open for 2 seconds bringing in the groceries, and it's summer and now I've got a blowfly flying around the house. So I'm sorry if that's a distraction in the background. Okay, so everything from here down to here is from Aldi. So we got tomato paste. They didn't have the organic one that I normally get. Barista milk for my coffees, the kids, organic almond milk. These, they are probably only going to get once because it was a memory for them that they used to have these when they were babies. So, well, not babies, toddlers, I should say. Water, we have a ton in another room, and yes, we recycle. Asparagus, 2 of those. Connor needed Colgate. I use fluoride free, but he uses that one. Some sesame snaps, some naughty food for the kids. It's just little ropes that are apparently apple, strawberry, raspberry, but they're just sugar basically. Brussels sprouts, which we'll chuck in the air fryer this week. Some sponges. This is for Dad's new house. He is not one to buy top of the range shampoo and stuff, so I got him some Aldi, and it's just organic. It's not top of the range or anything. Got him some shampoo, conditioner, and some body wash. Dad's just a man's man in the way that, I think that's the wording, that probably does not sound right, but he's just a barbecue and whiskey sort of man. So yeah, he's not too fussed. I just got the nicest smelling stuff and that'll do. I got some kitchen roll, halloumi, that's for Connor. It's got dairy in it and he absolutely loves that. Fries that up with bacon or chicken. Had to interrupt this video because Maggie, our puppy, was chewing on a texture, or a marker you call in Canada. So yeah, anyway, back to the grocery haul. So we got to the halloumi cheese. Then it is extra virgin olive oil spray, some butter. We don't like margarine, so we use butter. Some free range eggs, organic raw sugar. I picked up a bunch of these seeds for our, dropped some veggie garden and to do some flowers. So I will share that in a future video of our veggie garden. I've got so many future videos coming up. I didn't go into Aldi for these, but I found these olive oil ceramic pourers. So I'm going to give one to Dad and one for myself. Some baby wipes. Kids are not in nappies, but I use them for other things. I found this pantry set in Aldi. I think it was $20 something, and I thought Dad would love it. For his new house. It's got all the essential pantry spices and herbs and seasoning mixes, so thought that would be good for his new house. And get it to stay still. I got some French onion dip because my daughter loves that. Bacon, sausages that the kids like, some porterhouse steak, some free range chicken, some burgers. Like I said, Dad and Connor love their meat, red meat and barbecue, so that's why we got so much of it. The kids love these T-Rex bites, which are nuggets. So altogether this Aldi shop cost $232.54. In case you're wondering if the kitten's alright, she is, she's just here. She's got this whole room. Just come in to check on her before I do my Coles section to show you guys. All right, back to the Coles part of our grocery haul. These are Zupa Dupas, which is icy poles, and I know when I was living in Canada, a lot of people thought that it was a bit of a gross word, icy poles. I never thought about it before, but in Canada you call them popsicles. I bought some refillable, what do you call it? Hand soap. Apple juice for Tilly, orange juice for Riley, some pesto, which I'm trying in a meal this week. Barocca, I love these. I also take some really expensive vitamin B tablets, but I just like these as an extra. Connor's deodorant. I use Native, if that helps you. That was from Canada. I need to find an Australian equivalent of natural deodorant. I don't like using chemicals on my body. I also use 80% of my makeup is clean and natural. With all my hormone issues, I try and stay pretty clean with that stuff. But obviously food's so expensive, it's hard to go organic. This is hand soap. I thought the bottle was really cute. These are for Dad's new house, just some scourers. It's only puppy meat I could find. We're going down to Perth tomorrow, which is an hour and a half away, to the city to a pet store to get her usual one. This is where I said, don't judge me on buying all the plastic and the meat. That costs a fortune when you could just go and make your own. I could go and get a whole cooked chook for the price of this, or a whole chook, and then cook it in the air fryer, but I just do not have time this week. So this is how I'm getting my protein in this week. Like I said, it is full of histamines as well, which is not good for my issues, but here we are. Also, my dad loves all this stuff on sandwiches. So does Connor. The kids each got a Freddo. I think Freddos are Australian. I don't know, it's just dairy milk chocolate Cadbury. But Riley's already eaten his. These are for Connor. Scones, or scones as people say in the US. Scones, he's gonna have them with jam and cream. Promite for the kids on their toast, they like that. Kids love these veggie crisps. They cost $9 something and you only get 12 packets, so they're quite expensive. But they're gluten-free and stuff because Riley has some gluten intolerances, or some other intolerances I should say. Gluten-free nuggets. This is for Dad's house so he can disinfect it. One's for Dad, one's for us. Some organic air freshener. This one's for Dad. Some hand soap for his house. And then I saw these on TikTok. Charisma potatoes. Apparently they're a lot less calories, less carbs than regular potatoes. We're not huge potato eaters. I mean, Connor is Irish and they do say that they eat a lot of potatoes, but yeah, got those. So that total amount from Coles was, let's see if it will focus, $139.65 for just that. But I did buy a lot of products that are quite expensive, like the soaps and stuff like that. Okay guys, for tonight we're having a Thai coconut chicken curry. It's a red Thai curry and yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so here are the ingredients for tonight's dinner. I will state that this is a gluten-free, dairy-free dinner, but there are some elements here that may contain elements? Why am I saying elements? There are some ingredients here that may contain gluten. I mean, I'm not sure if this one does, the Keens. I haven't actually read it properly, but if you're properly intolerant to gluten, make sure you do your own research. Okay, so I've just harvested these snow peas from our veggie garden, so we're going to use those. I'm going to wash them and use those. I've got a leftover capsicum, or pepper you call that in the US, cauliflower. I use a bit of Worcestershire sauce, coconut aminos because I don't use soy sauce because I don't eat soy, but you're welcome to substitute it for soy. Olive oil, or you can use avocado oil or coconut oil. Keen's curry powder, it's just a curry powder mix. 100% coconut cream. I use this particular brand. It's a little bit more expensive than the others, but the ingredients are literally 100% coconut kernel extract. It's gluten-free, no additives. When you pick up the cheaper ones, go and have a look at the ingredients on the back. There'll be like 5 or 6 ingredients, and that's obviously not good for you. It's supposed to be just coconut. Next thing is garlic powder, and then Thai red curry paste. I've got a cup of rice here, and this pot does not look clean, but I promise you it's just the reflection shining on the sides. I always soak my rice in water for an hour or 2, or sometimes all day. Then I find that it makes it less sticky when you actually cook it and then rinse it later on. So just a little tip there. Also, before I start cooking, I know in Canada I always went on about having stainless steel or cast iron pans and pots. This is my dad's. It's a cheap $14 pan from I think Woolworths, and these are terrible, these non-stick, especially once they start losing their non-stick. It's really, really bad for your health. You guys can Google that. It's just because we've moved back from Canada recently in the last few weeks, we have not had any time to go to a proper kitchen shop and buy some good pots and pans yet. So the pot behind me with the rice in is great, but this one's not. So we're doing what we can at the moment. In future videos, you'll see me using a lot healthier products. Chop up all of your veggies, dice the chicken up, place oil and chicken in the pan. Normally I add onions, but I forgot today. Add some curry powder. I usually use about a teaspoon. And some garlic powder. Coconut aminos or soy sauce. Throw the veggies in. Add extra curry powder. Splash of Worcestershire. Add some red Thai curry paste. I usually use about 2 teaspoons. And then throw this coconut cream in. If you think that the sauce is a little bit too thick, you can always add a little bit of water, and for taste add some salt and pepper. If you do count calories, just make sure you check on this tin, because once this is in focus, okay, it's not focusing for me, but for 100 mils it is 285 calories, and this is a total of 400 mils, so just keep an eye on that. And then serve on rice. It tastes so amazing. This is one of Connor's favourite dishes I make. Okay, so for tonight's dinner, I am making a cowboy chili butter marinade to go on these really nice steaks. These are porterhouse steaks. I mean, I'm saying they're really nice. We got them from Aldi. It's way better to get it from the butcher like we normally do, but this is what we've got this week. We've got asparagus, which I'll show you how I'm going to serve all that up. Broccoli, the potatoes I mentioned in the video earlier, and then a bunch of spices, lemon zest, butter, and a chili. I am dairy free, and that is to reduce the inflammation in my body, but I'm not dairy intolerant or allergic to dairy. So I am breaking my dairy free rule for just tonight, just to put a bit of butter on our steak. So I've obviously washed the asparagus, and the easiest way to cut these is to just bend them, and apparently that's where they're meant to be broken. Don't know if that's true, but it's something I do. Then I'm going to chop these up into smaller bits, and I'm going to place them inside a Glad bag. Because it's just Connor and I tonight eating this, the kids will have some of the veggies, but they're having other meat. We aren't doing as much veggies, but when my dad's normally here too, because he eats with us a lot, there'd be a lot more in here. I'm then going to cut up the broccoli into smaller pieces, and I'm going to soak them in some water because I like to make sure I've got all the gross little bugs out. And I'm just chopping those up real fine. That way they'll cook at the same time that the asparagus does, because asparagus doesn't really take that long to cook. And because the stem of the broccoli is quite a lot thicker, it takes a bit longer for that to cook. So I'm just cutting these up a little smaller. I'm then going to place the broccoli into some water just to make sure all the bugs are in. I've seen too many caterpillars come out of broccoli before, so we're going to make sure that's real clean before I put it into our dinner. I then use some kitchen roll to just dry this off a little bit before we put all our seasoning on it. I don't want it all dripping in water. Water goes onto the garden outside. We're in the process of making a chicken coop at the moment. You can see that all on our YouTube channel. And then all of our fruit and veggie scraps that chickens can eat will eventually go out to the chickens. Now I'm adding the broccoli to the asparagus. Then I'm going to add some oil in here. My dad likes to make his own olive oil, so he'll buy a large olive oil container, and then he'll pour chili and loads of garlic and all sorts of spices into it to make it a little healthier and tastier. So I've added the oil in there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of paprika, a little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of salt and pepper, as well as everything bagel. Put that in, add a little bit more oil if needed, and then shake it up. I'm going to add a little bit more garlic in because I love my garlic. All right, now I'm going to chop up the potatoes. I like to put them in water to get some of the starch out. That's just a preference of mine. I find that they taste better when the starch has been taken out. These are going to go into the air fryer, so I chop them up quite small, around that sort of size, just so that they cook the same time as everything else going into the air fryer. I don't actually think I'll be using all of these potatoes. I think I got too many out. I think I only need probably 3 or 4. It's only for Connor and I, and I'll only need 1 of the potatoes. So, okay, so 4 potatoes is enough. I don't actually need 6. That'll be plenty for Connor, myself, and the kids. The kids don't really eat much, so that'll be plenty. I'm gonna drain these and then pat them dry and then pop them in the air fryer, ready to go in. They won't go in yet, but they're just gonna sit in the air fryer, so I've got more space on the counter. All right, I've had a bit of a fall here with the potatoes, so I'm just popping them back into the air fryer, and I'm gonna throw a little bit of oil over the top, just drizzle some over, enough so that it makes it crispy. And then I'm going to add some spices. So you can add whatever you want, any herbs, spices. I'm adding paprika, garlic, as well as salt and pepper. Mix those around, add some more if you need to. You get the gist. And then set them aside until you're ready to cook them. Okay, time to cut up a little bit of chili. This chili's been left in the fridge a little long. It should be all right, but it's a little soft, softer than I'd like it. Dice that up small and just add to your taste of how much chili you like. And this will eventually be added to the butter, cowboy butter sauce that I'm putting on top of the steak later on after it's grilled on the barbecue. Okay, so I've placed the chili into this bowl, and now I'm going to grab a good amount of butter. It's up to you how much you want to use, how much you believe you'll need on top of your steak. I'm just sort of making this up as I go along. Then I'm going to add some paprika, and I'm going to pop it into the microwave to melt it for a little bit. All right, I melted the butter. I actually added a little more. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. You can use cracked or you can use ground pepper. I'm using both. We're going to put some mustard in there. This is just Australian mustard, sweet and savory style, but normally I'd recommend Dijon. I'm talking like as though I'm this professional chef, but I'm not. I'm just telling you what I would do. A little bit of cayenne pepper. Again, each to your taste. I don't put much in there because we don't like it super spicy. Garlic, again, I absolutely love garlic. And then a little bit of lemon zest. Not too much, just enough to give it a bit of a zing. And some thyme. And stir that in. Set that aside, and then if it does start to harden up, because there is butter in there and it gets colder as the night goes on, just pop it in the microwave. I'm sure there's somebody going to tell me that it's not hygienic to do that. I have no idea. I'm just sort of making this up as I go along, but that's what we're doing tonight. Okay, now it's time to season the steaks, and I have just run out of Himalayan salt, so I need to fill this up. But yes, pretend there's lots of salt on there. I'm gonna add lots of cracked pepper. And for some reason, I may be a bit weird, but I like paprika on my steak. And we're gonna pop these on the grill, and we're not gonna be stingy with this. We're gonna season both sides. So once this goes on the grill, I'm gonna go out there and take these out on the barbecue, and I'm going to flip them over and season the other side too. Then while that's cooking out in the barbecue, I'm going to be having the air fryer on with the broccoli and the asparagus in one side, because we've got a double one, and the potatoes in the other side. Then we're going to pour this beautiful butter over the top. All right, I've got the broccoli and the asparagus in here waiting to cook. I've got it on hold for now because the potatoes take a while, but I've put them in for 200 degrees at 20 minutes. But I'm just gonna check them because I'm not too certain about the actual timing. All right, we're outside cooking the barbecue. You nearly cut your head off there with the camera. We're cooking the steaks here, and then we'll marinate it with butter on top.